Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A Video, the official Q&A video series of NoDQ.com. TNA Lockdown coming up next weekend. Make sure you check out NoDQ.com for all the very latest regarding Lockdown. With that being said, let's get right down to your questions. First one today comes from Nikki Sturzu. Do you think we will have a stipulation for the Rock Cena match at WrestleMania? I mean, we had a regular match last year. Maybe they should up the ante a bit. One would think that if you're doing a rematch that you would have a stipulation and make the match more important and up the stakes a little bit. I think in this case it's not really necessary. Rock versus Cena is such a big match, such a blockbuster match between two of the biggest stars ever that you really don't need a stipulation. I mean, you have Rock and Cena, they go out there and just the two of them having a stare down will have the crowd on the edge of their seats. So really no point in adding a stipulation to it. I think if any match on the WrestleMania card would need a stipulation, it would be Triple H versus Brock Lesnar, just because it doesn't have quite as much star power as Rock versus Cena. So yeah, I think Rock versus Cena would be fine just being a regular match, and it already has the stakes amped up because the WWE title is on the line in this match. Last year, there was no title. This time, you have the title on the line, and you also have the storyline of John Cena trying to get his win back. You know, he lost the previous WrestleMania, and he's trying to get his redemption, as it's mentioned in the tagline. So I think that they'll be just fine having it for the WWE title. All right, this next one comes from SC Taylor. Hey Aaron, why does WWE keep doing the same thing with Kane? Make him return as an evil monster and destroy everyone. Then 2 months later, make him a joke. Then he gets injured and returns again as a monster. Well, you have to consider that Kane is not going to be pushed as hard as he was 10 years ago. And the thing about Kane is his character can really go in either direction. He can be a happy-go-lucky giant, or it could be an evil heel monster, similar to the Big Show. And I think that WWE they put Kane in a role when it's most benefiting to the creative team, and when they have an idea. If they have an idea for Kane as a babyface, they go with it. If they have an idea for him as a heel, they just go with it. And they really don't need to push him a certain way. I mean, when he first came into WWE, he was obviously a monster, and they had to protect him and make him as dominant as possible because they were establishing him as a superstar. Now, Kane's he's a veteran, he's been around forever, and the fans will pop for him and cheer for him regardless of what he's doing. So that they really don't need to have a definite direction for him. They can just whatever the storyline calls for. If Kane needs to be a monster, they'll make him a monster. If he needs to be funny, he'll be funny. Whatever. All right, this one comes from Stroya. What is your opinion on Christian's heel run before he left WWE for TNA? In my opinion, it was pretty damn good, and he was one of the best heels in the business at the time. I absolutely agree with you. Christian had a ton of momentum in 2005. I specifically remember a promo he did where he ripped into John Cena and mocked John Cena on Raw, and I remember the crowd popping for him, and I think that might have been his downfall right there. I don't think that was the reaction WWE wanted. I think that Christian was supposed to come out there, rip into John Cena, and the people would be booing Christian out of the building, but that didn't happen. And I think that was when the point where people started turning on Cena, and I think WWE had this fear that they would do Christian versus John Cena, and more people would be cheering Christian than John Cena, and that's not what they wanted. So that the fans were going against what WWE had planned, and I think that really did hurt Christian's momentum, and WWE stopped pushing him. And Christian got frustrated and he left, and I don't blame him for leaving. TNA seemed like a great opportunity. He didn't have to travel far, and he could be the top star in TNA. So I don't blame him at all for leaving and giving it a shot. And I don't blame him for returning to WWE and coming back to make the big money. And he eventually did get a run as world champion in that feud with Randy Orton. Christian got to be in a high-profile feud. So it did end up working out for him, but probably a lot more could have been done with him, especially in that 2005 period. That he could have been a huge star if WWE just decided to change plans and go with him and not hold him back because it wasn't what they had planned. Alright, the last one today comes from Lewis D3. Hey Aaron, I've been wondering why Triple H faced Mr. McMahon at Armageddon 99 instead of Test. Why do you think they went with Vince rather than Test? Please answer in video. I think it's just the simple fact that WWE felt that Triple H versus Vince McMahon was a bigger money feud than Triple H versus Test. Vince McMahon facing Triple H would be more marketable. I think that that's why they went with that, and it's unfortunate because you know, talking about momentum with the previous question, Test was really over coming off the SummerSlam win against Shane McMahon, and you know, myself and a lot of other people felt at the time that Test was going to be a huge superstar in WWE. But then they did the whole angle where Triple H married Stephanie, and Test just kind of faded into the background. The focal point went from Test to Vince McMahon trying to get revenge on Triple H over the marriage. So yeah, it was just a bad situation for Test. He kind of got pushed aside, and that wasn't right for him. But you know what? That's the way it goes sometimes in WWE. At the end of the day, they're going to do what they think is best for their bottom line. And at the time, they thought that Triple H versus Vince McMahon would be the biggest money match. So that's the direction they went in. All right, that'll do it for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Keep spreading the word on Facebook and Twitter. Subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQ&AV. And I will see you this week for more No DQ&A video.